fried chicken republic.
That mask turns on pretty quick when the record button hits, doesn't it?
Is it recording?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured.
You're like
Chicken. I ate a chicken dinner for lunch today.
What's a chicken dinner?
It was mashed potatoes and a half of a chicken and veggies and oh my God, I'm so full.
Oh, so it's perfect
so
that
full.
you're doing a podcast after this.
Yeah, I'm gonna just be napping during the middle of this thing. Start nodding off. And then the next thing I'm going to talk about.
I'm glad we're starting this off with some energy.
I know, high energy. Woohoo! So
how are you doing, man? How was your week?
it was pretty good. Bella graduated high school.
Yeah.
That was really big.
I actually wanted to talk about this too.
Yeah, that actually makes a really good segue into this.
Oh shit, that was a quick segue.
I know. Well, I haven't made it yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm announcing the segue.
Oh, okay. So I should be on the lookout for it.
You should.
Did you want to drink or anything before we start?
No. Okay.
Okay.
So when cool moments happen in my life, you know, and if they have like little tickets or little tiny things like that, I take those things and I put them in a box.
Is this the box?
Well, there's now 3 boxes.
Wow, zero preamble, ladies and gentlemen. We are just fucking we're like,
No.
Hey, do you remember in Lord of the Rings?
We'll let them know.
You remember in Lord of the Rings when they were like, this is the Shire. This is what life can be like. This is really nice. John's like, no. We start at Mordor.
Yep. We're going to scour the Shire in the first chapter.
Fuck Luke finding the droids. Let's get to the lightsaber battle.
I'm cool with that.
Okay.
So what do you want to talk about?
I just we're going to sit here for 2 hours and I think it's,
You want to like kind of just like bathe into this?
well, I mean,
you want to dip in a toe. You want to just check the.
well, I mean, seriously,
check the temp.
here's what it is. I like getting together with you. I like talking with you. I like knowing how you're doing. And the grand majority of our week of communication is pretty surface level. You know, it's like, how you doing? I'm doing okay. It's like, well, that's fine. But now I get to hang out and we get to talk face to face. I mean, this is fucking new. This is amazing.
We don't see each other. I've seen you more over the past like 3 weeks than I probably have in a year.
I know. Isn't that fucked up?
Yeah.
But I actually don't think it's fucked up. I think that's beautiful. And I think that's why I do so many projects with people, because I get to run around with the people I like. But me just hanging out is a very hard thing to do. And I think it stumbles from anxiety shit and, fears of not doing enough and fears of failing and falling behind. So if I get to hang out and actually do something at the same time, it's a double win for me because now I'm not thinking about work. I'm not thinking about what else I could be doing. We're literally recording something that, doesn't mean anything in the great scheme of things, but
it is for those dudes.
Yeah. And that's really what matters. There's going to be 8 subscribers.
I'd be surprised if we had 8.
Totality. Did Kenny come out of the woodwork? Like, because you sent a picture with him, and I was like, that's a fucking deep fake because Kenny doesn't exist.
I was in Carbondale when that happened with Kenny, and I'm like, hey, how come you never talk on those dudes?
And he's like,
just
what?
Essentially like, I don't do anything on Facebook. He just
That's
doesn't
not
use
Facebook. I don't go to Facebook anymore, but I use Messenger because it's the best messaging app there is.
I do like Messenger a lot.
It's fast. It's like you can transfer like a lot of like video and photo data really quick between each other. And it's not like Snapchat. I fucking hate Snapchat.
I've never used Snapchat ever.
I got on it for like a month and I'm like, this is stupid.
There's like things like pop up and I know that they'll be fads and I'm not really interested in them. Like I feel silly that I'm so like attached to Facebook and all my stuff's on there. You know what I mean? It's like 10 years of this relationship with an app and it's kind of bizarre, really. I don't know if you've ever looked into actually getting all of your photos off of Facebook, but it's difficult and they design it that way.
Well, of course, so you have to stay.
Yeah. But I'd be fine getting rid of Facebook. Like, do I really want Facebook in my 70s? No, I don't. I don't
No,
want to, like,
no.
I don't really post anything on there anymore.
I keep it for work. I keep it mostly for work. And then, like, in truth be told, friends' birthdays. The grand majority of friends, I don't fucking remember their birthday. And that is a great tool to be like, who's having a birthday this month?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. I wish there was a more fun twist to that story, but really that's all I got for Facebook. I fucking hate Facebook, man.
It's a birthday reminder.
Facebook is a birthday reminder. Instagram is a place where I go to sell my wares, sell my bread and butters. LinkedIn is where I go to hate everyone who tries to fucking talk to me. And YouTube is where I spend all my time. What about you? Like,
Dude, I spend a lot of time on YouTube.
Okay.
And because I don't even watch like movies really anymore. I just watch YouTube videos a lot.
Really?
You know what I hate about YouTube is I freaking hate the algorithms, man. I'll intentionally look up crap that I don't like.
Yeah.
Just so I'm plugged into a different algorithm. But it's crazy how like politically polarizing how YouTube can be.
How so?
Like if you look up like anything with like a gun.
Oh, there's actually like,
now I'm getting stuff about QAnon. It's like, all right.
So I'm monetized on YouTube. So if you watch my videos, I get 1/1000th of a cent, possibly. It's like it won't count toward me until I hit 1,000 views per video. So it's like it's astronomically.
Did you get a penny at 1,000?
Yeah, it's basically about that. And then you can start making pennies after 1,000. But one of the rules that or one of the things you have to click is, do you talk about guns in your video? And if you do, that opens up like another page. It's like, well, what are you talking about guns concerning to? And like is it hate speech? Is it this? Is it this? And I'm like, well, I never have to go down that.
Do people like, of course this is hate speech.
No, I mean, I'm sure that's not the exact wording. I'm being hyperbolic, but having that click on there, because I guarantee there are people out there who have triggers, no pun intended, about guns. And when they see a gun come across their feed, they have to dislike it right away. Now, I'm very pro-gun, but I'm also understanding of people not wanting to be around them.
I get it. It's weird being somebody who's, more liberal-minded and liking guns. I don't know.
I am very liberal-minded, but
I don't like. I don't know. I hate that there's two buckets and you got to pick one. It's awful.
It's fucking stupid.
It's either Bozo's bucket or Cookie's bucket.
Hey, as long as I get my crisp $50 bill,
right?
I'm good to go.
Well, as long as they get their crisp $50 bill.
Oh, that is how it works. So tonight you brought me a visual crisp $50 bill.
Yes,
in the form of a tackle box.
This is a tackle box.
Is it really? I honestly didn't know. I don't know the terminology.
No, this is a cantilever organizer.
A cantilever organizer.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I read it off the tag right there.
This is why I wish we did video, but
I know.
Then I don't want to.
I don't know. It is way easier. But with this, you can describe what you're seeing.
Ooh, like a book.
So when I was 6 years old, my mom told me a story about the littlest angel. All right. The littlest angel was a little boy when he died, and he was in heaven. And when Jesus was born, all the angels in heaven brought gifts for Jesus when he was born.
Okay.
And, there was frankincense and myrrh and gold, and everybody had like all these like real baller, like what the fuck is frankincense, by the way?
I think it's like a myrrh, like a smell.
Is it? Well, so they brought all these really fancy things, but this little boy, he was super sad, and he didn't know what he was going to give as a gift. So he went back to his home when he was young, and he had a box. He had a box underneath his bed of all the things that he loved, like a feather and like a favorite rock and stuff like that. And that's what he gave Jesus for his birthday when he was born. And out of all the gifts, it was Jesus's favorite gift. And since I was 6 years old, I always thought, how cool would it be to have a box, a favorite box is what I ended up calling it. that was when I was 6 years old. It's almost damn near 30, almost 40 years
Oh shit, that put things into perspective.
of collecting things in my
Yeah.
favorite box. And
Yeah.
I've moved over 20 times since 1998. I think 26 times.
Really? 26?
I've moved 26 times since 1998.
Oh shit.
And everywhere I've gone, I've always had my box of stuff
Yeah.
of my favorite things.
Yeah.
And it was always the thing that, like, you know, when I would be moving, my favorite box would, it would always go like in my personal luggage. Or when we were driving, it never went in I never put it in the moving truck. It was literally always sitting next to me in the seat.
Did you take this overseas with you?
Yeah, this stuff has been everywhere. I've collected things over the years, but like they're just small little things and moments. And I don't know if it's because of the way my memory works, but it's just a blank slate, right? But if I pull a thing out, like I'm instantly reminded of whatever just by looking at it.
Right.
For example, like literally everything in here is just a weird story of something at the time. I was just like, this is a moment, or this is a thing that I want to remember. And again, I've been doing this for almost 40 years.
So I remember you actually showing me some of this in high school.
Yeah.
I went to your house and you showed me your rock collection. And you actually told me like where they were at, how you felt when you picked it up. And everywhere I go now, I pick up rocks that, like, as long as it's like a meaningful journey to me. Like when someone dies that I love, I will take a rock home with me.
I think that's, yeah. I've been labeling some things now just because, you know, they can seem like totally arbitrary. But like, you know, this is just a cork from a wine bottle. I'm pretty sure this is the wine.
Whoa. Let's talk about your what's the word for this? Your OCD collection of plastic bags and safety PPE here. Why is that everything in a plastic bag?
Just because I wanted the label to be part of the item. Oh, it's just to label everything
to make sure that nothing gets I just disassociated or
and this was July 2017. Moved to Colorado. I drank this bottle of wine, and Heather and I were super poor. We were living in the Fowler basement.
Yeah,
and when we moved in, we got a cheap ass bottle of something that barefoot wine or whatever.
Oh yeah, Andy loves that shit.
Yeah, that stuff is bananas. But like, yeah, we got that. This is I think this might actually be gold. There might be gold flakes on that one. Nick Prey, he made this for me. He made a knife out of like a piece of flint rock, just a piece of.
It looks like obsidian.
Oh, this is obsidian. This is rainbow obsidian.
Right?
Yes.
I won't open it.
Please.
I just.
But I mean, there's a lot of moments in here that I have with you. For example,
I've never heard of rainbow obsidian.
Yeah, if you go outside, you can actually really see.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I know. The outdoors, that's where the sun is. Let's see here. Those were some things that you would like. Because I know I saw some things in here that I think were. Oh, so this is like.
Is that a receipt?
Yeah. We stopped at a rock shop in California. A rock shop that I had. Matter of fact, that's where I bought this. This is actually a piece of sapphire. That's a raw piece of sapphire. Another thing that I have that I've been collecting forever are these like the squashed pennies.
Yeah.
These things I've had these things for like 30 years. I keep collecting these things. I always got to make sure that I got like a couple quarters in my pocket and a penny so I can do the squash penny thing. Yes.
Do you make your own on like railroad tracks or? I
have not.
Because I always heard like if you leave it on there, the vibration will actually kick it off. So like it's actually really hard to do.
So yes, it is, and they will knock them off. I squashed a car key once. It was actually the girl that I dated in high school with the multiple personalities.
Oh yeah.
I squashed her car key.
On purpose?
Yes.
Oh,
on purpose.
Way fucking funnier.
We weren't dating anymore. I squashed her car key. I ran out of pennies. The pennies would always fall off.
Yeah.
And actually, I believe I do have a penny in here that I squashed on the train tracks. She wanted it back, and I was like, "It's not around anymore. I don't know what we're gonna do with that." Let's see here. I know there's gonna be. This is a list that the kids that I was living with in Colorado that they gave me.
Oh,
I know. Let's see. But no, I saw some stuff in here that reminded
speaking
me.
of your collection here and lists, I saw it the other day. I was cleaning out my basement. I have like Tupperware back behind me over here, like filled with like photographs and shit like that. But I found Bob Fowler's Christmas list.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What was it? I'm sure it has.
Do you not remember this?
Bob Fowler's.
I mean, that's okay. I don't remember shit. So like, I'm not gonna like talk badly about this. I just thought it was like, group legend. So
Was this from the table?
yeah. So Bob made a Christmas list of like all the things he wanted, and it was like a rain core, a lightsaber.
Yes.
And like I put it to the side, and I'm like, I'm gonna take a picture, and then I fucking never did.
You never did.
So I'll pull it out, and I'll immortalize it, and I'll make a poster out of it or something.
Let's see what else. Hold on, 'cause I know there's something. Do you remember the idea of the coal miner's daughter?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, the whole idea of it. I had one of the listeners when we were doing our other podcast gave me a necklace of a piece of coal in a basket, and I was supposed to give it to
the girl.
to the girl.
Yeah.
I gave it to Heather. She's like, I don't like that shit. I'm like, all right.
That's how you know she's a keeper.
That's right. Oh, here. I saw this one. The very first time you ever took me to Elgin Public House.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah.
I remember that day viscerally.
Yeah. So you took me there, and as we were drinking beer, I was peeling the old style label off.
I remember you
and
fucking doing that.
And the waitress sealed it for me and gave it to me.
The waitress did?
Yeah, the waitress sealed that up.
Oh my God, she really did.
Yeah.
That's like classy. Holy shit.
Yeah. I think you were trying to get me to grab her number, and I'm like, I'm not going to do that. This was a gift you gave me, the architect. It was a Magic the Gathering card.
Yeah.
And Jay gave it to me as a gift when I graduated at SIU. Let's see. What are some other things here? This is a watch that my grandfather gave me. Okay, here. This is a good one. So now the reason why it's smashed. So it's a black box. It's completely smashed to smithereens, right?
As black boxes are known.
Boxes are known to do. It's because I just got back from a trip that Jay. That I was when Jay got married, and my cufflinks were Rebel cufflinks. Now Jay is all about Team Empire.
I will say in recent years, I stopped giving a shit.
Oh, well, that's helpful too.
But yes.
But I remember when I came back I flew back to Colorado and I had my luggage, and Bob dropped me off, and I don't know why he did this. Like the car, he must have been like really pissed off at me or something. But like he dropped me off, and I pulled my luggage out. And he turns the wheel and he backs up and just runs over my luggage. And he doesn't even stop. It literally it ran over all my stuff. It smashed the luggage in, and this was smashed in there.
He Napoleon dynamited
my stuff. And he felt so bad because it smashed the cufflinks.
Oh.
But he actually welded them. If you look right there.
Are you fucking kidding?
He welded the cufflinks back together.
May I see?
Yeah, absolutely.
No fucking way. Dude, like, honestly, not to sound selfish or anything, but one of my biggest regrets in life is you said, can I rent a bear costume? And I never told Andy about that because my misconceptions about marriage was that the woman wants to have something romantic, something like that. And I told her about the bear costume like the day everyone left. And she's like, why the fuck didn't you let him do that?
We'll tell people what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. So John came home to be my best man in my wedding, and we basically had we hijacked a park, no permits, nothing like that. And John asked, could he rent it was a bear costume,
Bear
right?
gorilla.
It was a bear gorilla. Oh, okay. And oh my God, this is so fucking cool watching. He really welded this back together.
Yeah.
That's insane. Like any kind of like metal work like that or things like it just boggles my mind how things can like that can be done. But I was really like, John, don't, you know, this is the wedding, blah, blah, blah. And it was stupid. It was so stupid of me to even step on that. You know, just the fact that you came home would have been fucking enough. And I was an asshole. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
No, literally, like that is like one of the things that at like 2 o'clock in the morning, it'll shake me awake.
Dude, I hate those things.
Yeah.
The 2 a.m. like
I don't have
well,
many,
this is gonna
but
keep
when they
me
do,
up now.
they keep me awake for a long time.
There's one. Ugh, so cringy. Like I just think of like stupid shit that I would like say to girls or something. It's oh my God, I'm just so embarrassed. Would you like to hear one?
I would love to hear
So there was a girl. She was like, her name was Dawn, and I met her when I was in Korea, and like she was like smoking hot, and she liked me, but like she was leaving.
Korean?
No, she was a military girl.
American?
And man, I remember like being like real smitten over her, and then she left. And I had just moved to Germany, and I was only there for like 2 weeks, and I saw her at the bar. And I'm
No
like,
shit.
holy crap, you're here. And she's like, oh yeah, you know, I went from Korea to Germany. I was like, oh, me too. And like, I'm all excited. She didn't want to have anything to do with me. Oh man. But like, I wasn't taking no for an answer. And like, I remember like telling her, I was like, hey, you know, trying to ask her out on dates, and she would always like just kind of say, nah, you know, like she's just being nice and saying no. Oh my God.
Ouch.
So like I told her we were going downtown and I would give her a ride. And she's like, oh, cool. You know, I have to meet my friends downtown. But like it was like a date. I didn't tell her. So like I stopped somewhere and we were with friends and we're eating. She's like, so when are we going downtown? I was like, oh, you should eat. And oh my God, she was so pissed at me. She don't have anything to do with me. Oh, John, you embarrassing.
You're fine.
Oh, so bad. So bad.
You were a kid, and let's be honest, you know, I think anything sub 25 is fucking
doofus. Oh,
it has nothing to do with
embarrassing.
age. It has to do with like a mentality thing. But yeah, you're a kid.
Yeah, those stupid memories. Let's see.
What else?
What other kind of goodies we have in here? This would work a lot better.
I mean, please don't get this too out of whack because I know you're going to be like, oh, I got to put this all back together later. So like,
No.
like let's do it in an order. So like,
No, I'm literally like,
I wanna see
what I'm
everything.
doing now is all I'm doing is just like pulling out stuff.
Okay.
and just
okay.
gonna tell a quick story.
Sorry,
I mean, that's
maybe
all it really is.
it's my piece of shit ADD.
We can't mess this up.
Yeah, right.
This is a baggage ticket, and it says IUD. This is when I was in IUD, Iraq. This was my baggage from Iraq.
No shit.
When I got back, and it was on my luggage for the longest time. And I finally I took it off.
Oh, I'm so glad you kept that. Like,
Yeah. See? Oh yeah, this is the other part of the ticket. IUD.
no shit.
I have. Let's see. All my name tags from my uniforms I have in here.
Oh,
It has
cool.
my last name, which I always thought was neat. Let's see. What else do I have in here? All the patches. All my military patches that I have in my favorite box. You know, something I always like think is kind of weird is like all this stuff is super meaningful to me. But like I think about this often. It's like all this stuff is just gonna end up in a landfill somewhere.
So I think I would love to go down this rabbit hole of conversation with you because this is something I think about way too much. Because like it's like where do I start with this? But like as Americans, especially people who grew up in the 80s where like consumerism was like king, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, you're the better historian than I am, but can you at least vouch like the 80s was like creme de la creme of consumer?
Dude, greed was king, man.
Yeah. So
Gordon Gekko ruined
there
America.
There you go. So we grew up with the mentality that having things made you a better person. You know, it made you happier and yada, yada, yada. And we're always told, well, I'm going to leave this for my kid. I'm going to leave this for the next generation. And I have hollowed out relatives' homes. I have hollowed out grandparents' homes. And the amount of shit you throw away that was probably something insanely meaningful.
And it just ends up in a dumpster.
And it just ends up in a dumpster. And it just ends up never being seen again. These little moments of history are gone with that person now.
And you'd never know. You're like, this is like,
right,
you know,
right.
Like somebody could be like, this is the change in my pocket, you know, when I was fighting in Iwo Jima, you know, and it's super important to you. And it's just like, oh, money.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy a burger with it. Oh, look, this one's from 1945. Cool.
Throw that in the pile.
Yeah, throw it in the pile. I don't give a shit. And it's weird.
But like, you can't expect the next generation
To give a shit?
to give a shit. Like
Yeah.
I have stuff my dad gives me that I find very like endearing because like I grew up with him like doing that shit, right? But then he'll give me other stuff. He's like, well, this is from my childhood. And I'm like, I don't know you from your childhood. Like this doesn't have the emotional connection to me.
Yeah, you know, like all this stuff that I'm showing you is like super personal to me.
Right.
But yeah, nobody else really gives a shit.
No, I see. And here's where you and I, why we wanted to start the podcast, or one of the reasons I brought up the podcast is you have a fascinating way of telling stories. Okay. You always have. You are captivating to listen to no matter what you're talking about. So listening to you tell stories about things that I would look at and go, oh, cool. He left shit in his pocket from when he came home doing something. There's literally moments of your life that were transcendent and meaningful and like book worthy. You know, like each of these is a fucking chapter.
It is. And this is kind of like this would be kind of like my book is all this. It's just stuff.
It would be a fascinating book to read, like an audio book or a picture book, you know, a fucking
Be a
movie.
cool way to do it. Like if I had I would literally just have like, you know,
And you just tell the story about
I'll
this
just tell a
thing.
story like this thing, and you can maybe I'll do that.
I would watch that all fucking day. No shit, dude. Let's start up a YouTube channel, like no fucking editing. Just go live. Just be like, here, this is this thing. So okay, pick something at random. I don't care what it is. From the bottom bunk
from the bottom. So this is a dilapidated piece of paper. Now, when you are in the military and you are stationed in places, you have to always carry your military orders with you if you're on military orders.
Okay.
And this is the one that had to go in my mobility bag when I graduated basic training. And it was in the pocket of that bag for the longest time. And now the thing is like completely dilapidated.
Do you want to like put it in Mylar or
I don't know. I probably should.
put it in something safe?
You can kind of see, this is like literally my very first orders.
There's no way in hell I'm touching that.
Yeah. These are my first military orders out of basic training.
No shit.
That had to go from Lackland Air Force Base to
you-
send me to.
That was in Texas.
Yeah.
You got that in
This
Texas.
is when I was in basic training. This is the orders by, let's see. Oh boy, I don't even know how to say this person's name. Yeah. And it says like, you know, report no later than 21 February 2000. Has my full like name on here, and oh geez, has like social security number and all sorts of stuff. But this was to send me to tech school for munition systems. This
Yeah,
is
yeah,
I got
yeah.
sent to Shepherd Air Force Base to go learn how to build
shit.
bombs.
Yeah.
So yeah, one little story, one little thing. This one should probably go at the bottom.
I remember coming to see you in San Antonio.
Dude, I remember that too.
with Sarah.
Yeah, that was really, really cool. I was so excited to see you guys.
I know. I was so fucking happy to see you, dude.
That was cool. I was like, that was super skinny. That was like
Yeah.
the last time I was super skinny. I was skinnier then than I was when I was in high school.
Which is
Like, I
ironic because
lost-
you were fucking starving yourself
I
in high
lost
school.
so much weight in basic.
Oh, I mean, they fucking work you. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you get worked pretty hard. But oh my God, that was, yeah. I had like a 28-inch waist
Jesus.
when I was in base.
Really?
Yeah. And I lost so much like muscle
Yeah.
because they just had us running all the time. Running is the worst. I don't want to be running nowhere.
Well, because
nowhere, no how.
You don't need muscle in the military if you can have better stamina. keep fucking up. Keep going.
They would rather have somebody who's small and who can like have a shit ton of stamina.
No shit.
Yeah, than like some big galoot. They don't really give a shit.
No, then you're just a meat shield. Sorry, I went.
Yeah, you are.
I went rogue chaos there. I apologize.
Yeah, I'm turning into a bullet catcher. I remember when I was at the dorms. It said, you know how like there was a board that they had on the wall where
like a sports team or something
no
like when you leave a room.
No, it was like a wanted board. Like if you need something, or if you're selling something.
Oh, gotcha.
And it was a cork board that they had at the dorms at Shepherd Air Force Base.
Okay.
And I remember it was so funny. It just said wanted Marine to catch bullets. Inquire within, and I just thought it was one of the funniest things. It had like a little thing to tear the number off.
I like that.
Right.
I mean, let's God, military humor is so weird because like I grew up with my father. I grew up with like his buddies and shit like that. And I grew up with that mentality. Oh my God, fuck whatever I was saying. Let's talk about this.
No. What are you saying?
I don't fucking know. There's a stormtrooper and Billy D. Williams in front of me. Let's pay attention.
So for these, I was working. I have in my right hand, I have a very old original Kenner Stormtrooper.
Correct.
And in my left hand, I have an old Kenner Lando Calrissian.
The one with the plastic coat.
Now, I got these when Nick was living at his house off Army Trail Road. And I was very, very poor and I didn't have any money. He paid me money to like clean out one of his beds, like landscaping beds at the house.
Oh, yeah.
And when I was digging in there,
you found literal treasure.
I found these two things, and I'm like, and I don't have any of my like original toys when I was younger, because when I moved away, like everything got left at the house.
Right.
And my mom packed up that room, and I don't know what happened to a lot of things.
You don't know?
There's everything just got packed. It's like I had everything in my room, and my parents wanted to use that as an office. So like all the things that I had, they got packed somewhere, and then they ended up selling that house, and there was they had to go through like 9 dumpsters of stuff to like throw everything away. There was so much stuff in the house. It was in a box. There's a box of stuff somewhere. Everything's in a landfill. I took as much as I could find, but like that was like, was that 2008, 2010 when like the financial crisis hit? And my parents had to leave.
It was 2008.
Yeah, my parents had to leave and live with my grandparents' house to take care of my grandma.
I remember this. Yeah.
So they just like abandoned the house, and my little brother like just squatted in the house for months and
like rent
free. Yeah. But yeah, that was.
Okay, total side note, and I'm sorry. I actually watched a movie last night with Billy D. Williams that I'd never seen before called Fear City.
Fear City, huh?
Yeah, it's fucking awful. It will be on a podcast on this network, so look forward to that soon.
Yeah. Let's see, what else we got here? These are all my baseball cards when I was a kid. It's just a stack of baseball cards.
Okay, were you into baseball? I know you played. I wasn't.
So I think I was into it like what everybody was. In the 90s, in the late 80s, early 90s, the story was a kid had a Nolan Ryan rookie card that was supposed to be $12,000.
Yeah.
And it sold for $12,000, and it made the news. And all these people were like, wait a second.
Yeah.
I have baseball cards.
Right.
And then they ended up starting to sell shit in the 90s like crazy. And everybody was saving stuff because they're like, I'm going to hold on to this and it's going to be worth something someday. When you talk to people now, if you have anything from the 90s, it was so saturated and everybody has everything.
That's it.
It's worth nothing.
Just like the death of Superman. Wasn't worth a fucking dime because they made $1 billion of them.
And this is, so I literally just have an old stack of baseball cards. I'm sure this is probably worth like $4. The whole fucking stack.
If you're lucky.
It's a whole handful of cards. Yeah. And there's some neat ones in here. What
qualifies as neat? Because I've never been a sports card fan.
These aren't all baseball cards.
I'm listening.
So a lot of these cards there's some baseball cards in here, but like I have my Super Nintendo Power Club cards.
Oh, okay.
So we have these.
Way cooler. Oh shit! I remember those.
Yeah, so these are the Super Nintendo Power cards. I also had like the Marvel cards, so I got Punisher.
Every single Marvel card, even like the ones that were kind of shitty, I still fucking love.
Dude, these like the old Marvel baseball cards that I got. I have Marvel 1992. I got Punisher. I have Cable.
I saved all my fucking in like my
A Jurassic Park card.
I love that you have these.
I know it's so fucking random. I think I got Pac-Man.
My mom apologized to me when I was in college for throwing away my Garbage Pail Kid cards because she read on the news that they sold for like thousands of bucks.
Yeah.
And that's when she got into comics. When I was in high school and I was collecting Spawn.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, "Oh, I can make money doing this," and I'm like, "You're buying the wrong ones," and she didn't care. She just kept buying them.
Yeah, I mean,
that's yeah. No, I mean, like that's not against her. That's everyone was fucking doing that. I was doing that.
I know. I ended up. Okay, these here, I literally can
There's
tell you
artwork on the back there.
Yes, so. I can literally tell you when John's brain went online, other than the Chip and Dale, or no, who was it? I remember having a crush on one of the Chip and Dale girls. Like Alvin, Simon, and Theodore.
Yeah,
the Chipmunks.
Oh,
the girls.
Different.
I remember when I was super young, I had a crush on the one girl, Brittany. Right.
Every boy did.
Okay, so like I remember having a crush on her, but then like I had a buddy give me these cards, and when I saw these cards,
you were like the girls of rock and roll.
These cards right here. This is
oh my god, Boris Viejo.
Yes.
Holy shit.
So these cards literally. That's when my brain went online.
Yes.
I was just like, oh my god, these barbarian chicks are super hot.
I may or may not have defiled a rabbit corpse to these. Oh. God damn, that sounds terrible when I say it out loud.
Just the skin.
Oh, dude, I had Deathstalker. This is Deathstalker. Do you know why I know this is Deathstalker?
Well, how do you know?
Because they used this fucking painting for the movie of Deathstalker, and it does not fucking appear in the movie.
You're kidding me.
It has nothing to do with the movie whatsoever, but the cover art is fucking brilliant. And that you just showed a hologram Thanos.
Yep, I have a hologram Thanos. So this is another.
Do you have the Thanos copter?
I don't. So I always thought this was cool. In 1990, when Desert Storm was going on, Score baseball cards had an American flag card, and this one was like going off the shelf like crazy.
No shit, I never heard of the flag one.
Everybody wanted the American flag card by Score, and it was for the Desert Storm people.
Yeah.
And you know what's really crazy to me? I remember when Desert Storm started, my mom started crying because she thought, I don't want America to go to war because I don't want my boys going off to Desert Storm.
The more typical, correct fucking mindset of a mother. Okay.
But the thing that's crazy is I remember like the war like came and went and it was done. And I went there anyway, like years later. How crazy is that?
Because of it.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just kind of, I don't know. So I got a whole stack of baseball cards, random ass baseball cards. All this stuff in a landfill.
Yeah.
The thing is, I got like fucking 3 of these things.
3 stacks?
I got 3. Oh shit! No,
don't
I
forget.
need to put these Boris Vallejo ones on top. Well, I gotta look at these in the bathroom. Everybody drink.
Wow, deep cut, man.
Yep, I know.
It's astonishing the shit I don't remember about our previous podcast.
I know.
It was deep.
I know. It was like super dirty.
Literally, it feels like yesterday, and then I listened to myself, and I'm like, oh my God, that's like 1,000 years ago.
I wonder if I have anything for the podcast in here. I might. I probably do.
I actually just threw away, like I made a fuck ton of business cards. And everywhere I went, I would put business cards down, like in the movie theater, restaurant, public bathrooms, everywhere I went.
The stickers, I would like put the stickers up in places.
Well, I was worried about that. I did do it, but I was really worried because I thought, well, they could find us and fine us. Business cards on top of shit, whatever. You're right. As a kid, I wish I wouldn't have cared so much.
Okay, this this when I was in Germany, we ended up going to Paris. We drove to Paris. And this is what
Such
this
a
is.
weird
This
fucking
is
sentence.
This is a glass. There's a building called like the La Defense building. It's just this massive. It's a building with a big hole in the middle, and you can go to the very top of it. And they had a bar up there, and I drank up there. And I stole the shot glass. I even told the guy, I had been drinking all day because, that's what you do. And I'm like, I'm stealing this. And he goes, that is okay. So he gave me this like little shot glass. It was some foofy drink that I had. But then a buddy of mine went to Normandy. So this is sand from the beaches of Normandy.
In a glass that you drank from in Paris.
A glass I drank from in Paris.
Holy shit.
Let's see what else we got here. Oh, these are just like random rocks from trips that we would go on. This is from my wedding. So these are the very first time I ever saw the Pacific Ocean are these rocks.
I remember that trip you took.
Yeah. This is when we were driving on Route 1.
Yeah.
And I have flown over the oceans many, many times. But I had never actually dipped my feet in them until very recently. For work, I had to go. The first time I ever dipped my toes in the ocean was when I was working at the architecture firm, and I had a job in Miami, and I dipped my toes in the ocean there. I remember I told my boss, and he's like, "There's no way in hell I'm going to let you go all the way here after telling me that."
Good.
And he drove us all the way out to the ocean. We walked to the beach. I guess it would be whatever beach was like right there on the tip. I guess South Beach is what it would be.
I wouldn't.
I literally just dipped my toes in real quick, and then we went and grabbed something to eat.
Huh.
That was the first time.
Did you have like a cathartic experience, or was it like cool water?
No, I did. Absolutely did. It was weird because like they were watching me. I think they got a photo of me doing it.
That's really fucking cool.
I thought that was pretty cool.
I think so.
When we went to Chicago, I don't know if you went, when we went to the Tossers show. This was the Admit One after party at the Tossers show.
I don't think I was there.
No, you might not have been there. But it was really funny because my buddy got kicked out of the bar that night. He got extremely fagoogered. And during the middle of the show, he got kicked out. And we had no idea where he was. It was still during the middle of the show. And like, we didn't know where to go. Or he didn't know where to go. We're like, what the hell is he gonna do?
Yeah,
like he's in Chicago. We're at the I think the Double Door is where we were.
I've been there.
And I walk outside. I talk to him, and he just essentially he ended up going to TJ's house to go sleep at her house because she was pretty close. And I go to walk back inside, and they go, whoa, hold on, where are you going? I was like, I literally just walked out here. You guys just kicked my buddy out. He goes, he got kicked out, huh? Well, guess what? You're kicked out too. I'm like, dude, I just walked out for a second. I was like, I have this thing. Because I guess like when you leave, you're supposed to get a stamp. Well, I didn't get a stamp. I'm like, I have all the things. And they're like, the one girl's like, well, he does have the after party thing. And I'm like, yeah, like, let me back in. And the girl goes, well, what did he get kicked out for? And I just said, for being a complete fucking asshole. And she goes, okay, we'll let him back in. So then they let me back into the party. But it was so funny because, what did we say? I think we told him, because he got kicked out. And this guy is, I don't want to say his name because it's
no, don't. That's fine.
He got kicked out, and he loves the Tossers. He loved them, right? Got kicked out. And I think we ended up telling that like Johnny Depp. We told him Johnny Depp was at the party and we met him. I don't know, probably to this day. Like, oh man, you remember that time that Johnny Depp showed up at the Tossers show? And yeah.
Okay, this is fucking weird. So
we just lied to him because he got kicked out.
I went to Vegas for a bachelorette party.
Okay.
And it was the first time Andy met anyone from NIU. Eric, Jason, Sarah, TJ, everyone, right? Sandy. And we go to this bar on some, like everyone in the party wants to go to this bar. And I'm just like, the M&M store is right down the street. And that is just screaming my name. So we all go to this bar and I don't want to go into too much detail about other shit, but Johnny Depp was there. And I remember like our friends were just like, "Whoa, cool, Johnny Depp," and I was like, "So the Eminem thing, I'm gonna head out, okay?"
So when are we gonna get these M&Ms?
I had zero interest in being in this fucking bar. It was just like you had to wait in line an hour just to get on the elevator to go upstairs to wait in another line. It was fucking miserable.
I don't get clubs. I don't get them at all.
I don't.
I
love that you have more. Okay, for those who are not watching the live broadcast right now, John just took off the table one giant tackle box, which I love that you never like turned around to let me see. You're just like, I have this, but you can't see what else is in here.
No, I mean,
they're my secrets.
Some of it's not as interesting, I guess. So
I love for a show and tell podcast, you're like, imagine what we're talking about.
I know. This is awful. This is great podcasting. I was gonna say,
yeah.
I always felt bad because I was at NIU at the same time you were, right? And like there was a group of friends that everybody hung out with, and I don't know, like they were all like really cool people. I don't know. I feel like I burned like a lot of bridges with those folks. And I always felt bad about it.
Do you really?
I do. Like I always I
don't think anyone else thinks that.
They were all like, I don't know. I saw all you guys. I think it was like out of jealousy. But like you guys all like went to college and had degrees and were getting on with your lives, and like I got out of the military and like I was working at Menards and I had like a shitty job, and I don't know. I just saw like everybody else being successful, and I think
I had 2 masters and I was working a shitty job that I hated.
I know, but I don't know. Like
do you have regrets about like what happened at NIU? Do you think you would have done something differently?
I mean, I never went to class.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. I felt, I don't know. It's like, it just sucks to just burn bridges and those friends. Especially like they were all of them were like super awesome. And like, I see you talk to them
who do you think you've lost?
I don't know, like especially like the Film Monkey thing, the way that turned out.
All right, that was a bunch of people. Okay. For those not in the know, Film Monkey was pretty much an excuse for us to get together to talk about movies and to make little short vignettes about shit. And it was a load of fun, right? Mm-hmm. But I think too many people had their fingers in too many pies. And because of it, it was disjointed. Nothing was cohesive. And there was a lot of animosity for what we thought each of us was bringing to the table as what we thought the show was going to be. And it never really kind of like came into like a full like infographic of this is what we want the show to be. It was just like, oh yeah, we're just going to show up. And then we never fucking did the legwork ahead of time to actually talk about it.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of miscommunication. There was a lot of confusion about what was happening, how. And I put myself in that blame as well. I
don't know. Yeah, but you handled it like an adult. I didn't. I was an asshole.
Says the one who had a dildo hanging out of his pants and painted himself blue.
Were you painted?
I was the adult.
I don't know.
By the way, like, your Watchmen skit is still one of my favorite things we've ever done.
I love that one too. That one was really funny. I don't know, but I still feel bad. You know, to go back to like the 2 a.m. Like, oh, I wish I wouldn't have sucked at life so much.
Well, I will put on record. Now, I don't know verbatim of anyone else's feelings, but I don't think anybody holds any fucking hesitation or guilt or feeling of animosity whatsoever.
Okay.
Truly.
Good. Okay.
Like, I also think everyone's grown up and been like,
I've been worrying about that for years.
Well, do fucking not.
Let's see.
What's next?
All right. This is just my wife and I went to the Abbey Resort in Lake Geneva, and this is just receipts and documents and stuff like that.
Why were you there?
It was our wedding anniversary. at the Abbey Resort.
Okay.
Have you been there?
I've shot many a wedding.
Oh, dude, it's such a cool place.
And
The Abbey Resort is massive. There's like 3 bars in that place. Like multiple restaurants.
okay, I've never seen a
And
restaurant.
We went there in like, because we got married in January, like super cold. And like
on a fucking mountain, by the way.
on a mountain.
Next
we
to
wandered up there.
a fucking. Oh my god!
We wandered
I
up
love your
there.
story.
The
Still, by the way, before we jump into this, I really you mentioned to me 2 years ago, and I really want to do a. Oh my god!
So what I'm showing, Jay's dad sold me a rifle.
A Mossberg 22
Yep.
long rifle.
Yeah. And I have the receipt still.
I mean, you fucking should,
Well-
just for like legal purposes. But
Yeah.
but sorry, I didn't mean to. You pitched to me years ago that you wanted to do a drunk history about your wedding. I don't know if you were serious or not, because like I was so on board. I went and watched 3 fucking seasons of Drunk History, and I had notes about how they're making it.
I know Heather really wants to do it too.
It is not a quick thing.
It is not a quick thing. I know Heather would love to do it. But like, I don't know, maybe like our 10-year
Yeah,
would be like a good time to do it.
that, and I'll be super retired doing weddings then, so that will be more than fun to do.
My 10-year is going to be in 5 years.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna be retired from weddings by then.
Yeah.
Next year, I'm trying to think like, well, maybe 2, maybe 1. I don't want to do them anymore.
Yeah. It's not your jam anymore.
just- There's a burnout in the wedding industry.
Mm-hmm.
It usually happens about year 5. So the fact that I've made 14 years is pretty fucking great. But the fact that I cannot get out of bed the next day, that I hurt so fucking bad that I'm crying on the way home every wedding night. My body just hurts.
Dude, I hear you.
And I've tried doing what everyone else fucking tells you. You got to run more. You got to walk more. You got to stretch. I fucking do. There was 2 years where I took it very seriously. I jogged every morning in the fucking winter. I worked out. I fucking did this. And a wedding still destroyed me. It never felt better. It was never like incrementally better. So it's just, I can't do it, man. It destroys my body.
Getting old
and it
sucks.
destroys my emotions. I am exhausted emotionally for the next week.
Yep.
That was fun.
You should go on to do other things.
I am. I'm fucking doing awesome things now. I'm loving the shit out of this.
Shit, yeah.
Speaking of which, go to Instagram at EO7 Media. If you have not fucking followed, I'm going to be extremely disappointed in you.
Yeah,
fuckers.
all 5 of you. Yeah, you better.
Hey, it's fucking 5 more than
That's true.
than the contest I'm actually running right now. Anyway,
I think I'm already a member.
I have that.
So there's what I'm showing is it's a photo that I took, or no, that my
You
mom
did not take.
that my mom took,
Your mom took this. I had no idea.
and my mom took this photo. It is a picture of Jay and I and another guy named Todd.
Yeah, I was just
we
about
were
to
the
say.
captains of the football team, and we
Yeah.
were walking out to. It was our homecoming game, sophomore year.
Yeah, it was sophomore.
Walking out to do the coin toss. I always thought that was a really, really
I had that
cool
in my
photo.
bedroom for a long time.
I thought this was a really neat photo.
I do too.
And the fact that it's like it's on a panoramic photo, so it's super long. Yeah,
It feels more epic.
it does feel more epic. Let's see, what else do we have here? Okay, so when I moved into my house,
The house you have right now.
or that I have now,
Yeah.
a couple months after I moved in, I got a letter.
Yes. I've been dying to see this.
I got a letter in the mail. That was a letter sent to my house,
Not you. The house.
not me.
Yeah.
That was sent on February 22nd, 1932. To the original, it was the son when he turned 18 years old, and it was I think it was for, I think it might have been for a selective service, maybe is what
Oh,
they were
way
calling
worse.
for. So yeah, Galen Bruns
was hoping it was a birthday.
Yeah. And I thought, like, what an amazing, awesome gift. And what it ended up being was there was a guy who collected stamps, found this, and he owns a comic book store in Elgin. And I ended up going to his house, or I went to his place of business and bought a bunch of comics from him.
Does he still have a comic book store in Elgin?
I don't think he does anymore.
What? Oh, was that the one that looked like kind of like a storage?
Yeah, it looked like a storage place. Yeah.
Yeah.
He took only cash, and his hours weren't very great.
I shopped there once, and it was
a little rough.
You had to step over stuff, and it was really uncomfortable.
Yeah, I
being in
know.
there.
But, I mean, it was still super, super cool to have, like, this letter that was sent to your house.
And I love that he just sent it to you. It's like, whoever's living there would probably appreciate this
he
more.
just said, he's just like, I think you would think this is cool. And then as soon as I showed up.
And by the way, he picked the right fucking person to give this to.
I know, right? Little does he know. I can't wait until this gets thrown in the dumpster. With all my other stuff. All my precious memories thrown in the dumpster.
Put that in the fucking walls of your house, by the way. Put it in Mylar or something. Put it in the walls of your house.
So, because I live in a historic district, if you do enough research on your house, you can get a plaque put on your house.
Right.
And I think this is actually going to probably go with that.
I like that.
It'll just travel with the house. Let's see here. What do we got? Here? I got like movie tickets. I always thought you did a thing with your wife where you take all the movie tickets and put it in the little thing.
Good memory. We have a shadow box. And we kept all our movie tickets.
I always thought that was such a cool idea. Let's see here. These are like admissions to a zoo.
That was like one of the best $10 I ever spent too. It was like Andy had the idea. I thought it was really cool. And I kept like me movie tickets and myself are like treasure. Like how some people would collect baseball cards were like, this one's most important. My movie tickets were fucking important to me. So now it's like, well, not really anymore. I don't hold the same value. But the fact that I still have them all in like a decorative thing, pretty fucking cool. I love that.
Yeah.
I did the same thing with fortune cookie fortunes.
I like that.
Yeah. I still add them to this day.
See,
unless they're shitty.
Oh. Sometimes like you just, there are some really shitty ones.
Oh man, we got like 4 in a row like a couple weeks ago. They were great. There was like
ones.
One was a website.
Oh, the shit ones.
One was like the art at the bottom of the page.
I wonder how much. Like, how do you get a job writing fortune cookies?
You fucking become Chat GPT. That's what.
Oh yeah, the Chat GPT would like be pumping out fortune cookies.
And there's only like 40. Like
fortunes?
There's only like 40 fortunes. Like
don't tell me that.
One of my favorite ones was you like participating in competitive sports, and I got it like maybe 30 or 40 times when I was at NIU, and I was like, this is fucking bullshit. Anyway, sorry.
So when I was in Korea, there was a
fortune cookie factory.
I was
like, you like participating in competitive sports.
It was under a bridge. There was this antique shop under a bridge.
Oh my God, dude.
And it was an old dude that lived there.
How do you start every story with fucking magic? I don't get it.
Oh, dude, it's like if I were to buy a Mugwai, it would have been at this place for sure, right?
Johnny,
so when I was there, there was a guy who it was a 4-sided knife.
A 4-sided?
And my buddy wanted to buy it was a blade with 4 sides, right?
It's called a star.
Okay. It's a 4-sided knife. Okay. And my buddy wanted to buy this knife. And the guy said, "Oh, no, you can't buy that knife. That knife is cursed. If you buy that knife, you have to sign this waiver that says that you can't return it." So obviously, my buddy bought that knife.
He sold it for 10 times what it was actually the price tag was on before he walked in.
Technically, that guy got in a fight and lost his orders to like some other base and he got in like a lot of deep shit. So maybe the knife was cursed.
Oh,
but what I'm trying to say
is, yes, bring us
if you
home.
have like a really cool story to something,
that's right.
Whether it's real or not, dude, you can sell the shit out of stuff.
You're goddamn right.
So when I was in Madison, there was a place that told me, I don't know if this is real. I don't know. But it was at a rock and gem shop.
Yeah.
Supposedly, this is mammoth hair from Siberia. I don't know if it's real. But I would like to think that it is.
You know,
I grilled the lady. I was just like, "Is this made up bullshit?" She goes, "No, that's." It's from when mammoths are when they thaw in Siberia, they cut the hair off and they sell them. But I don't know. Like, how would I find out?
Yeah. I mean, you could do a DNA test.
I'm not going to be doing no DNA tests. Goddamn mammoth hairs.
So okay. So I'm the kind of person who wants to believe in magic things, but I also
That's some dude's pubes for sure.
that's some dude's back hair.
I hope so.
That is grundlefuck fur.
Yeah, right? All right, what else do we got here? What's the deal here? What's the score?
So real quick on that note, if you can make a good story, you can sell anything. So when Andy and I moved back to Illinois, when she moved up to Illinois for the first time, we were dead fucking poor, man. Like we had nothing. And we were trying to make money. So we're going through like my old shit, like my childhood shit and trying to sell things. And for grins and giggles, she finds this stuffed lion. And she starts,
a real stuffed lion?
Well, no, like a fucking like a little kid stuffed toy plushie.
Okay.
So we're selling things on Craigslist, and she writes this awesome story because everything we're selling, no one's buying anything, right? So she goes, fine, fuck it, I'm gonna write this story. This is Senator Bigsby. Senator Bigsby came to us from blah blah, and she wrote the whole backstory, and basically Senator Bigsby was made of Tiger Be Gone. Because we've never seen tigers around our house. Obviously, he's been protecting us from tigers. And I'm sorry, this was eBay. Sorry, it was eBay, not Craigslist. And we came up the next morning just to see if anyone had bid on it. The fucking thing had over 100 bids, and it was up over $180. I think we put it up for like $3.
Dude.
And it finally went to a elementary school teacher who said the story was so funny that she had to buy this and share it with her kids.
I love that.
Yeah,
I also immediately want to sell things on eBay.
We put a whole box together and just threw tons of other shit in there for the kids.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I have that the old man gene in me where it's like, oh, do you really like this? This one thing you're buying, you like this? Let me give you everything else that you'll like. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just thought that was a fun story.
No, that's okay. I'm trying to this one. I think it's got a bunch of older things in here. There's a whole bunch of. Hold on, because I know damn well there's something in here that you're gonna really think is cool.
I have a deed to. I own property on an island.
Yeah, this is in Scotland.
I think so.
Yeah, that's not real. Sorry to tell you.
Well, is that the? It was the Cards Against Humanity thing.
It's a common scheme. That they're selling. Yeah, it's like buying a star. Sorry.
Well, and it's not like real like good land. It's like a rocky shore.
It's just shit land.
Well, I mean that's how they described it too. It's like you can't go here, you can't step on it, but if you do, here's a flag to go post in the rock. I'm like, cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna go buy a star and name it after you.
Yeah,
what a deal that was.
I did.
There's
that
like an
too.
unlimited amount of stars, and you can name it.
And you're not really naming them. They're not going into a registry.
Yeah,
that was
those
shitty
fuckers. All right, let's see what I can find here.
John's currently opening old condom wrappers.
Oh, dude, these look totally like condom wrappers.
Touchdown, finally touchdown.
Let's see. Hold on,
This is really cool,
Here
man. If I was still in like crafts, I'd be like drooling over just the plastic things.
Oh my God, look at these crafts. Oh, this is cool. So there was a guy that I used to work with at GMA. He was an old guy. He didn't speak any English. He was from the Ukraine. Oh. And the reason he came to America was because his daughter moved to America. And he had a granddaughter here, and she had enough money to move him here. And he made money by cleaning offices. Oh. And I was always working super late, and he barely spoke any English. We had full conversations all over Google Translate, which is one of the most amazing things. The guy didn't speak a lick of English.
Yeah.
But we ended up finding out when we were talking, he has the exact same birth date as me, July 24th.
No shit.
So when I was there, every July 24th, we would buy each other gifts. And I bought him I was in New Mexico, and I got him a boot, a Mexican New Mexico boot like a little like flower boot.
Oh,
and he had his family send this from the Ukraine.
From the Ukraine?
Yeah, so what it is it's a tiny little wooden mace, which I guess in the Ukraine, it's like if you have the mace, you're like the king of Ukraine, and it's like a ceremonial mace that they've had for hundreds of years, and they give them away as like little trinkets and stuff. So I always thought that was really cool.
That's actually really, dude, he thought about you. Like you literally changed his life, even if it wasn't like, life altering, quote unquote. You literally changed his life to have a friend.
He was super cool. Because I worked late, I saw him all the time.
Yeah.
I always tended to make friends with the cleaning staff because I'm there late all the time.
Yeah.
Here, you are going to think this is cool. All right. Now what I'm pulling out is it's a piece of newspaper. I haven't looked at this in a very long time, so I don't know what it looks like anymore.
That legitimately is a newspaper. You pulled it out of something about the size of a napkin, like a size of like a napkin.
So it's a full piece. It's a piece of newspaper that I have. Man, what's this going to look like? Okay.
By the way, this is the worst topic for a fucking audio
So
podcast.
what do you see?
Hold on. I'm coming around the corner.
So what he sees right now, it's a little bit of grass with some white paint on it.
Kind of looks like a part of a bird's nest.
What this was grass pulled from the 50-yard line of our last football game. That white is the paint from the 50-yard line. Isn't that crazy?
The newspaper, was that from that night too?
Yeah.
No shit.
Isn't that crazy?
You and I were the last two people on the field.
Yeah, I was very, very upset. Man, like being done with sports.
That's a weird thing.
Yeah, like when you're like known as an athlete.
That's fucking cool, by the way.
I thought you would.
That field doesn't exist.
I know. The only place where that field exists is literally right here.
Yeah, because
it's the last piece of grass.
I don't think anyone else gave a shit.
No. I know, man. You know what? If I could do it over again, I wouldn't have done football, though.
Theater.
I would have done theater and wrestling.
100%.
I know that they would have tried to make fun of me. I don't care.
I wish I had the confidence that I have now with my convictions of what I like.
Dude, me too. I wish Nick did theater. Baller.
I know.
I wish I had the confidence, man.
Truth be told, even in high school, I was crazy jealous.
Of the theater people?
Of him. Of Nick.
He's popular. The ladies loved him.
It had nothing to do with the popularity.
The ladies loved him.
It had to do with the fact that he never looked like he gave a shit about what people thought, and he just went full steam into what he liked. There have been very few people throughout my life that have made like a giant impact on me through like one thing. Like you have been a goddamn structure of my life. Okay?
Goddamn Batman.
So I have a friend named Carmi. And I was over at their house one night. They were throwing a house party. And about 9:00, she goes, "All right, I'm going to bed. Bye." And my head exploded because I didn't know you could do that. I literally did not think that you could say, "I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to do something better for me. I'm going to leave." I was always under the conception that, or that's probably not the right word. I was always under the guise that, well, if
the impression,
if I leave, everyone's going to hate me.
At party?
Well, anything like that, right? Like if I don't show up, people are going to hate me, and I will be fucking hated, not liked, hated. I thought, well, if I don't just make people happy all the time, if I don't just do what other people expect me to do, I will be ostracized. And here is the fucking host of the party going, "I'm tired. I'm going to bed." And it fucking floored me. So now I've kind of like lived by that premise. Like I don't do it just to do it, but I do it like if I'm tired or if I just don't want to be somewhere anymore, I'd be like, "Cool, guys, have a great night." And I am no longer under the impression that other people are like hating me because I don't want to be someplace.
It's liberating.
it's wildly liberating. And it's fucked up that it took me
Yeah.
39 years, 40 years to
Yeah.
get to that.
I mean, yeah. I wish having confidence in your youth. Like if there's something that you could teach a kid,
Dude.
they have confidence. I won't. I don't know. Fake it till you make it's a real thing, though.
It is. And you met my assistant, right? I'm calling him assistant. He's not really an assistant. He's a part of the fucking business now.
Mm-hmm.
He just turned 21 yesterday. Dude is, fuck, if I had the fucking cojones on me the way this kid does at 20, I would have been fucking, I would own this goddamn world.
You were voted in high school as the most natural. I think a lot of people saw that
Really?
in you.
I don't remember that.
You would dance when everyone was looking.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I still do it. The grocery stores and shit. I always get weird looks, and I'm like, this is a fucking great song. I got no problem about that stuff.
I mean, being tall helps.
I was
too.
most natural. That was really a thing.
Yeah.
I don't remember this at
It was
all.
you and who was the girl? Jenny Mulaney, possibly.
I liked her.
Yeah, she was really nice.
She never felt like she like in high school. There were definitely hierarchies, and she never felt like she was like she felt like she was in the more popular group, the more like upscale group. But she never treated other people like she was, like some of the
Yes.
assholes that we didn't like.
Yes, like if I could do it over again, I would have been nicer to people. I wouldn't have. I don't know, like being known as an asshole. I guess like at the time I wore it as a badge of honor, but in all honesty, it was just because I hated me more than anybody else did.
Were you afraid of people getting close to you and getting to know you more?
Yeah, because I'm all white trashy, and I won't have to explain that somebody can't come over to my house or something like that because I lived in just a shitty situation. So yeah.
I'm sorry you felt that way.
Well, I mean, when you're older, you can say those things,
But
but at the time when you're young, you're just like, I'm gonna punch you harder than you punch me, or I'm gonna, I don't know. Yeah, you wear your assholeness as armor. Yeah.
Do you think that's also why we were so adamant about trying to be funny?
Oh yeah, when you're a fat kid. When we talked about this,
You
on
and I
our
had
podcast.
an awesome conversation.
Yeah,
I
you
was
have to be.
I was doing my
quick to the
thesis
punch.
when you and I got on the phone. We had like an hour-long conversation on the phone, and we just kind of like broke shit down, and it just made so much goddamn sense.
Yeah, if you're a fat kid and you can outwit them,
That's your way of like suppressing the bullies, and
yeah, and they would like just come out of the woodwork. Because I remember like junior high was just the worst, dude.
it was the worst.
Oh man, I still remember the kids, Ryan Ritchie and Nick Conan. Oh my god, those kids were like, they made me miserable.
Do you think they made people miserable, or do you think they thought they were cool by doing it? Like
Looking
now,
back, I'm willing to bet that they came from households that were miserable like
Yeah,
me, and they
right.
just they wanted it to do to somebody else, so they wouldn't do it to them. So it's like just if you're on the offensive, and that's the way to do it. You just be a dick first, and then you don't have to worry about it.
that's a way to do it. I wouldn't suggest it.
I wouldn't suggest it either. Just be nice to people.
Will Wheaton, man, just don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring it back to that, but yeah, like I would love, honestly, like because I don't think we've ever recorded it, but I would love to have an open, fucking no holds barred. Let's actually talk about real shit. Why you think being the fat kid was socially dependable on being funny? Like we're not going to do it tonight because I want to go through your history here.
No,
but
I mean it's just random shit here.
no, this is not random shit. This is fucking milestones of a life. So don't talk down about it just because I'm getting all fucking NPR.
No.
Am I getting NPR?
What we're gonna talk about here next are gonna be varsity letters and pins. So when I was in high school, they had pins that you would have on your jacket.
Yeah.
I kept all mine. I never put them on.
You didn't. How come?
I don't know. I didn't. I don't know why. I always thought that it would just look cooler on this piece of paper, and I never put them on anything, so I didn't.
Interesting.
Let's see what else do we have in here. This right here. This is from the very first shotgun I ever fired ever. I was at a turkey shoot.
Yeah.
I was at a turkey shoot and I shot a shotgun. Now, at the time, like, I was with my buddy's dad.
Okay.
It wasn't you. I had shot a shotgun before I was with you. I shot plenty of shotgun with you and your dad after that.
You're crushing my spirit here, but yeah,
But
okay.
what was I going to say? But it was like an awful way to like break me into it. Like, it was a turkey shoot. I was 10 years old. And like my buddy's dad let me borrow his shotgun. I had no hearing protection.
Oh.
And it was like just off. Like my ears were bleeding. It was so bad. I remember like that was kind of how I was broken into.
That sucks. I'm sorry.
All that stuff. Well, I mean, I ended up shooting again later. There's something.
But still, a first time kind of dictates how you feel about something.
Yeah. I mean, I don't give a shit. I just remember I didn't get.
You still have the wad in that shell.
No. This is a mouse.
Oh.
There's
It's a mouse?
I didn't wear hearing protection to shoot until I shot with you and your dad.
You're fucking
And
kidding.
I remember being like, this is so much better. This is amazing.
This doesn't hurt.
Yeah, because I remember because your dad got me a job as a trap boy for the gun club, which was what a neat job, right?
It was. It totally was.
It was such a cool job. But I remember like your dad's like, here's hearing protection. I remember like, I'm not a pussy. I'm not going to wear that. He goes, no. You're going to wear it or you're not going to have the job.
Yeah.
So I put it in and they're shooting. I'm like, oh my God, I love this so much.
Yeah.
I remember being like those guys when they would stay late and they do was it called dovetail?
It's Dove something, but they would also play Annie Oakley. That's the one that I know most.
The one where like
would they all get in a line?
Yeah, and if you can shoot the piece.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Maybe
those
that
guys
is
are
Dove.
so. I thought that was dovetail.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Oh man, like if you didn't pull exactly when they said pull.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, they would jump
Dude,
in your ass.
trust me.
With both feet.
Yep. Okay, so what's inside the shell?
So this is something that's very fragile, and I've been keeping it in here. This is a dried up seahorse.
I'm sorry?
That's a seahorse.
Oh my God, it is. Oh my God, it is.
Yep. I just thought that was kind of neat.
What does it taste like?
I bet you could probably grind it up and put it in a soup.
You can grind up anything and put it in a soup.
I know. Just tell people
that is not new information.
Make your dick hard. And everybody's gonna buy it. Those rhinos never had a chance because some guy thought he'd get a boner.
Fuck, dude, how fucked up is that? Like, we can't raise the debt ceiling. We can't pay off debt. We can't help the homeless vets from having fucking PTSD attacks. We can't fucking give them a life. But I'll be damned if a 90-year-old man's dick isn't hard when he wants it to be.
Yeah.
The priorities are so fucked
What
up.
do they say? Like, women can't do anything about their bodies, but a 9-year-old guy can get boner pills.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Dude, when that whole thing...
Like, you not having a boner, like, is that God's will?
Yeah, right. When the whole thing with the Supreme Court was going down, and I mean, every morning I was screaming at the news. I was so angry at how backwards America was becoming and is now.
Is becoming, yeah.
But all I was thinking was like, dude, just tell these fucking crusty ass old white men that they can't get boner pills anymore.
Yeah.
Well, you can't do that. But I have every right to tell a woman that she can't have a baby. You have to have a baby and ruin your life. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
What's that? Is that a... I can't tell if that's a candy bar or not.
When you went to France.
I remember this. Yes. Oh my God. I cannot believe you have this.
When you went to France.
That's what I thought it was. And I was like, no fucking way.
There was a piece of chocolate that you supposedly are supposed to put inside coffee. And you gave me 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I ate one. And I was just like, well, I'll never go to Paris because I'm a poor piece of shit. So I don't want to hold on to this. I did eventually get to go to Paris. But yeah, so that is the piece of chocolate.
May I see this?
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember this so viscerally. Oh my God. Dude, so like I mean, being a fat kid in France sucks so hard.
Because the food's so tiny.
Well, okay, the food's fucking tiny, but it's also there's nothing sweet until you get to like the chocolate stuff, and it's chocolate. French chocolate is out of this goddamn world, but it's so rare. Like here, everywhere you fucking go, there's Snickers bars, Kit Kats, all this garbage food, right? You go there, like you can't find chocolate. Like every fucking meal I had there, it was like, oh, we're having dessert, tangerines. It's like, bitch, no. Where's my lava cake?
Bitch, no.
I was very street when I was 17.
Let's see. When I went to basic training, there was a girl I was dating at the time. You know her. She said like, and I thought this was an incredibly thoughtful gift. She
get this for you?
Yeah, I think this is it. Hold on. Oh no, wait, hold on. No, is that it? Hold on.
I'm standing by. For those at home, John is fingering through a green felt bag.
Oh, oddly, we were just talking about crushing
pennies.
Yes. And I said I crushed a girl's key.
No fucking way you have it.
There's the key.
Can I see it?
Yeah.
I just want to touch history real quick because I was there for that whole relationship. Oh my God.
Yeah, matter of fact.
Oh my God, it's split.
And these are all the pennies that we put on the
Dude,
tray.
that is so fucking gnarly.
Yeah, her and I went.
You want to give it back to her?
No. Oh, the one girl? The girl I was dating at the time. Like, these are all the pennies that we crushed.
No shit. I didn't know you guys did that.
Yeah, it was in Geneva. We went rollerblading. Matter of fact, you bought me the rollerblades, and I didn't have any money.
I remember that.
Yeah, and I paid you back like 6 years later. It was $40. Sorry about that.
I don't fucking care.
Yeah. But yeah, these are the pennies we crushed. And she gave me, these are all tiger's eyes. All different tiger's eyes.
Oh,
and she knew that I like tiger's eye a bunch.
I remember that.
But this is a slab from Australia. And I knew that I always wanted to go to Australia. And she said, I know that, essentially I know you're going to go there one day, but here's your first piece of Australia. And I was like, that was a really cool gift.
That's thoughtful.
That was a very thoughtful gift.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow. Huh.
Yeah, I thought those were really neat. Yeah, and I didn't know that tiger's eye. So tiger's eye is a super cool rock. What it is it's like a cross in between iron and fiberglass. I'm sorry, not fiberglass. Asbestos.
Okay, that got weirder. What? How?
So the reason why you have all these lines in here, is because it was next to an asbestos rock. You can literally pull apart into strands. I don't know if you've seen like actual asbestos.
No, but I just learned what loofah was. It's a fucking vegetable. You know those things you scrub your balls in the shower?
Uh-huh.
That's a vegetable, and they just dry it out.
Is it a mineral?
Is it a tank?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, like we were looking at the seeds at Menards this weekend.
You were telling me about this.
It's fucking weird. Anyway, so tell me about an asbestos rock.
The reason why it sheens like this is because it was next to the asbestos, and
now I have cancer.
No.
Yeah, I love tiger's eye,
man.
is
super cool.
I have I
had no idea.
Tiger's eye dice.
Oh, dude, that's cool.
Yeah,
I love tiger's eye. But there's blue. Have you ever seen blue tiger's eye?
No, I thought it was just brown and orange.
No, this is red. Yeah, this is blue tiger's eye.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
Dude, I've never seen that
amazing?
before.
Yeah.
We chose the worst medium to do this show.
I know.
Which, by the way, next week I'm going to change something up. Oh, my God. That's so fucking gnarly, dude. Like, pretty rocks scare the shit out of me because I love gummy candy. And all pretty rocks look like gummy candy.
Do you lick them?
No. But like it always terrifies me that I might try and chew it. I have like heavy nightmares about like shattering my teeth.
I have nightmares about my teeth like falling out,
Mm-hmm.
which is a common one.
It's supposed to be you're scared of aging, or like your life is like going by too fast. Mine are never like the teeth are falling out. It's like, I don't know. 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 It's like I'll like brush my teeth with my tongue and there's just cobwebs where the teeth used to be.
Oh, gross.
Dude, like, okay, I'm not gonna like one up anybody about dreams, but my dreams are fucking terrifying. Literally most, like, if I didn't sleep well, which is maybe 3 or 4 nights a week, I'll wake up and just fucking thank everything that I'm awake. And I don't care what time I wake up. If it's 3 o'clock in the morning, if it's 6, I'm just up. I don't want to go back to sleep. My dreams are fucking gross.
I think it's like absolutely fascinating of like reoccurring dreams and how common dreams are.
Ooh, I kind of want to talk about this.
I've had a recurring dream since I left Iraq. There's always like a dream that like I'm fighting a war.
Yeah.
And I always lose. I usually get shot and I bleed out.
You actually get shot, not like shot and then wake up. No shit.
I feel myself slipping,
dude.
And like I get cold and it starts to go black.
Shit.
And that happens all the time. There'll be like ones
that's haunting.
Like I'll have something where like a bomb is going off, and but somehow I'm like able to run from the bomb, but it eventually gets me. Or we'll be in like some place and I end up getting shot and I bleed out. But never recently. This happened recently. I got shot and I started to bleed out and I fought back. And I've had that before. I get night terrors too. You know what night terrors are?
I do.
Where like you feel like something's like creeping up on you and you can't move and you're stuck and there's something like over the top of you and it's evil and it's looking down on you. Like that would happen all the time. It happened all the time.
Do you think this is from wartime? Do you think this is like PTSD?
I don't know. But I eventually got so pissed at that thing and I just started yelling at it and it went away. Like I defeated it, whatever it was.
How'd you feel when you woke up?
I mean, like my heart's racing. It was crazy, but it was like, I yelled it away and it went away. And I just thought like it was super cool that like instead of bleeding out, like I felt myself bleeding out. I started to die and I'm like, fuck this. And I literally took the gun and I popped like 3 or 4 of those guys and like everything was fine. And it was just, I don't know, like, and I felt great. And there was another, it was, oh man, there was one that I had last year. I think it was last year where I was in a ditch. I was in a ditch and there was like a tank that was about to roll over the top of us, right? And you get stuck and like I couldn't move, because you're sleeping. And there was a bunch of guys that were behind me. And I'm like, if I don't fucking move, all those guys are going to die. And I woke up low crawling across my bed.
No shit.
Yeah. I woke, like my body's just like, fuck this. I don't want him to die. And I was low crawling across my bed. It was so fucking crazy.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking dreams are fucking bananas, dude.
Yeah. I have for the longest time I had reoccurring dreams about monsters, but like things you would see like Todd McFarlane draw to try to battle Spawn.
All
like
the evil ass
those
shit?
things were like, those things were always chasing me and terrifying me and shit like that. Mm-hmm. And then the reoccurring thing changed to a bookstore or a video store or a record store. I'm not propping this up when I say I probably have this dream 5 or 6 times a week.
Okay.
Where I am in a store trying to find something, digging, searching, and I can never find it. Or
interesting.
The worst feeling of it is when I finally do find it and then I wake up. And my first thought is I will never know that piece of art. And I'm just like depressed for the rest of the day because that piece of art doesn't exist. But going back to like the monster thing, the best dream I ever had, hands down, the best dream. Like I woke up, it fucking changed everything. I was in a house. I was in like an old, like Freddy Krueger 30 years in the future after he was coming back for kids' house, like dilapidated, boarded up windows, and every fucking dream monster that I had all came into the room at once. And it was terrifying. It was like I remember being a kid and having a dream about that monster who's coming through the window. I remember being like 6 years old and being like, oh God, that's the monster. Like it made me remember about how old I was and what was happening in my life when all these monsters came in the room. And all of a sudden this light shone through the window and it was the cops. Okay. And the cops were like, come out, or we're going to kill you all. Like, if you don't come out now, we will just destroy you. And I looked at all the monsters, and all of them kind of looked at me and said, like, there was no words, but it was like, let's go. And the next scene, because like in my dreams, it's always like a scene in a movie. It's never like from my point of view. It's always like, the camera angles over here and shit like this. So the next scene was the door bursting open on the outside, and all the monsters came through, and I was with them, and we just fucking flailed every living human being outside. We tore them apart. Like it was a giant fucking puddle of visceral grossness of human body parts. And I remember looking at all these monsters going, I made peace and friends with my demons. And I woke up right there. And no shit, for the next 2 or 3 weeks, I was like walking on goddamn air. It was the most confidence I've ever had in my life. I felt so at peace. Nothing bothered me. I didn't get mad at dumb shit. It was fucking great, man. Best dream I've ever had. And every once in a while, like when I get like really kind of anxious or scared, I think back about that dream and how it made me feel afterwards. I thought it was pretty fucking cool. And I've never like dived into like what it means, but man, that made me feel alive.
I've never like had a shrink or anything, but I'd always be like kind of interested in, I don't know, like their opinion on like what dreams.
Hell
and
yeah.
all that stuff. I had like I had like a shrink for a little bit, like PTSD stuff when I got out of Iraq.
I really want a shrink, by the way. I just don't want to pay for it.
I don't know, like a lot of people seem to have one.
I don't see anything wrong with them. All I see is positivity.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that would be cool. Mm-hmm. I don't know. You got to bounce shit off of them, find out what the hell's going on.
And you got to find the right one too. And everyone I've ever talked to, all of them say, we don't mind if we don't click. Like they would rather you find someone that actually would do good for you. But let's dive into more. What else? Show me your precious.
I don't know what other things I have in here. Oh, you know what?
Do you have any rings? Any like jewelry rings?
I think I have class rings in here. Oh, here we go. So when I was living in the dorms in Northern.
Which one? Because you lived in
Douglas.
Okay.
And Bob came to visit me. And he literally, the very first time that I saw him, he just walked up and he grabbed an acorn and he said, here, keep this.
Oh, that's like a willow.
It's literally an acorn that Bob just told me to keep.
Oh my God. Yeah. That's awesome.
And a bung. And he said, this is a bung hole. Yep. So I kept those. You know what also that I do have? I think I gave it to Bob. Hold on. Let me make sure. I want to make sure. I'm pretty sure I gave it to Bob. But it might be in here. No. Okay. He has. Do you remember at the top of the table in high school?
Top of the table?
You remember the gummy bear?
Okay.
There was a gummy bear that was painted over, that somebody had stuck to the ceiling above the table. I have that gummy bear.
Do you really?
Yeah, I gave it to Bob when I left Colorado.
Oh, that's cool.
But I always kind of figured like the painted over. Somebody put a gummy bear up there, and some lazy person just was like, "I'm not removing this," and just
the
painted
winner
over.
of the Not My Job
Award. The winner of the Not My Job thing. And I always just thought that was super funny. That's the patron saint of the table was the painted
I
gummy
remember
bear.
you saying I'm shocked talking to you how much I do remember things.
Yeah.
When I was at NIU, I think it was my freshman year. Chaos felt right, you know.
Okay.
And I was staying up late one night, and there, like our dorm floor had 25 rooms, 50 people plus an RA, and there was a common room. Okay. And the common room had like 4 tables in it. You could stay in there all night. You could work. And I just thought it would be the funniest. Like I did everything that I thought was funny to make myself laugh, like not to make someone else laugh. And I was eating Oreos and I was hot gluing them to the ceiling.
Yeah.
And I maybe did 30 of them.
Oh my God. Was it a Grant?
Yeah.
That was Buzz was the guy who used to clean up the trash
the
there.
nicest fucking guy on the
Oh,
planet.
he wasn't there. If you pissed him off.
I know.
Remember he had one wonky arm, and I think he was like a World War II vet, if I remember correctly.
My freshman year roommate invited him into our dorm and we had a beer together. I did not drink because I was not 21 yet and I didn't believe in that. But Dean and Buzz had a beer together.
Yeah, you did.
Dean is the only guy I've ever seen whip his dick out and chase women with it and not be arrested for it.
It's because he was good looking.
He was also a very good dude.
He's the dude for his
But man,
time and
he
place.
had such a big dick. I have so many stories about him. That was so weird. I always thought like it was like cosmic joke that we got paired up in a room together.
He was very
He was everything
J-like.
I wasn't. Yeah.
He was still a nice guy.
He was a very nice guy.
But you know,
That pissed me off because I got my second year roommate and the dude was just a fucking tool. What's up? What are you showing me?
This here is the original favorite box.
Favorite box?
This whole thing I'm showing you is the favorite
Oh
box.
no, I know, but I couldn't picture that in my head.
That was the very first one. What it is it is a pill container from like that was like my great grandmother's. And it's a tiny little pill box and it's got little red fake jewels. And that's all the original stuff from my original favorite box. And what it is, it's blue lace, a tiger.
That's a tiger's eye.
A shark tooth, a tiger's eye. They're all tiny little rocks. I put it there, and it's about the size of a quarter.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
That's the OG.
That's your grandma's Coke box, huh?
You know what? There could have been cocaine in here.
Oh, there's no fucking doubt.
They were all about that.
Dude, like
That lady's hysterical.
the amount of the world that I didn't realize, cocaine is the #1 wedding drug. Besides alcohol, which is just openly used, cocaine is the #1 thing I see most often.
I never did it.
Me either.
Never did it. I was always worried about my heart
Yeah.
because on my grandfather's side, I guess I take a lot after him, and he had heart problems, which is why I know I'm gonna die of a heart attack. It'll probably be at work.
That's the worst.
That's kind of how I see it.
I don't want to. I don't want to die working. I waste so much goddamn time working, and it never feels like it's worth it because I'll spend. So I do these Instagram posts, right? And it's like information for people to use video for their business, and I'll spend 3 or 4 hours making these things for people to look at a glance and skip by. And that, yeah. But I can't get work if I don't do this stuff. The big things I do are like making videos to like help people, whether making video tutorials on video making shit or business shit or marketing shit. And when I spend 3 weeks editing something and it doesn't get any traction, it's like literally I just wasted 3 weeks of my life and 3 weeks of time I could have spent with my wife.
Oh my God, that's fucking awful. And I get it, dude.
And I can't work if I don't do this stuff. I did not mean to bring the party down. It's becoming more apparent that work is not as important in my life as family. And it does take a death to make me realize that.
Like our system's like just incredibly fucked up, dude. Like if you go to Europe, like I was just talking to one of my coworkers. He lived in Europe for a little while. He told me a really interesting story of how he's an American and he's working at an architecture firm in Paris. And people kept asking him when he was there, like, what are you going to do when you're on vacation in July? And he's like, well, what are you talking about? Well, I guess like everybody in the construction industry, they just take the entire month of July off. Just everybody does.
Wait,
like they just take like whole months off.
Well,
and in Europe, that's the way that it was. And it was just, it was really interesting. I asked him like, well, what did you do? And he goes, well, me and a couple other guys, we went to Italy because we wanted, we're all architects and we want to check out this stuff. And he's like, whoa. And we hung out with, who's the guy that played Kramer?
Yeah. You could say his name.
Something Richards?
Yeah.
Keith Richards?
No, but.
What's his name? Anyway,
that's a Rolling Stone.
He said that they were at the train station and he was by himself and he just walked up to them and said, hey, you guys seem to know where you're going.
No shit.
Can I just go with you?
No shit.
And yeah, so they hung out and he was loaded. It was right after Seinfeld ended.
Oh, so before the controversy.
But before the controversy, he was just done and he was by himself. And he just hung out with those guys and paid for everything for 3 weeks.
No shit.
Yeah, he said it was
3 weeks.
3 weeks they hung out with that dude. He paid for their hotel rooms, but they knew where they were going. Oh. And just kind of had a good time with him. They said he was a very, very nice guy.
That seems like the kind of story that like would happen to you. You tend to meet these people who are like on a life journey. You and I talked a long time ago about doing a video show about like taking a few months off and just traveling the country to meet people and talk to them.
I enjoy doing that.
I do too.
I would like just I always like going to bars by myself and just talking to the people there. I always had a really good time doing that.
See, like I would do that in a heartbeat if I could record it.
I mean, you don't have people aren't going to open up as much if you're recording.
That's my anxiety bullshit though. I'm like, well, why am I doing this then?
You don't think unless it's being recorded, it's not worth it?
Partly, and partly is if it's not being recorded, how am I going to remember it? Ever since I was young, I've always had a camera in my hand because I'm terrified I'm not going to have it. It's going to be gone forever. If it's not recorded, it never happened.
Everything ends up in the dumpster.